Maybe this time, Kaijin, do you have any questions?
I have.
Yeah, so
Like,
Kaijin.
let them go.
Okay, we'll take some questions from the floor. So anyone have any questions? Start with. Can't see you. Oh, okay, yeah. So.
What would you do if the president proposed an event that would make a loss?
Why would I do if a president make laws?
Yeah, if the president
In an event.
proposed an event that would make a loss.
Okay. Okay. I don't think it's like is the president responsible if we make a loss. I think it's the whole exec team's responsible. So I don't think that we will make a loss because I will definitely make a very good budget, like budget planning before every event. Not every event in the beginning of the academic year I will discuss, and I know that we have a lot of meetings. So I think that we will definitely not make a loss because I will plan it well.
Charlotte, I think you meant that what will we do if the event
If they proposed it, so like you haven't actually done the event yet, like you're just thinking of doing an event.
but the event will give loss to us.
Yeah, even when you
Okay, so I think we might sit and discuss with the president and the vice president along with the treasurer first and like budget everything, whether it will make loss, like how many % of loss, and if it is like great loss, I think we might have to cut the event and organize another event that will give us profit instead.
Kaijin?
The direct question. Okay, from where about you're going to start with your budget?
For my budget, like my budget planning. So
Athirah can go first.
okay.
From where or when?
From where
Where?
you're going to start with your budget?
What do you mean by where?
Like, how would you start your budget?
Okay, I'll start by listing all the revenues and all the expense. No, that's cash flow. I think the cash budget is mainly like the revenue and the expenses that we made, like for the event. And then, like I said just now, we have to discuss first what are we going to need for the event, and then how much losses we will make and how much profit we'll make. Yeah.
So like our main revenue is membership and money from DSU and sponsorship. So I'll definitely work alongside with our sponsorship and marketing officer next term. So and our expenses, mainly our expenses will be like the main activities of Duma's Deepavali celebration, the first welcome event and Chinese New Year, and maybe other events as well. So I think it's very important to make a very clear budget planning in the beginning of every event, so that we are sure that our limit, what is our limit, and how much we can spend. Yeah, that's most of the thing.
Someone, Adrian?
Right. Alright. So, as a treasurer, one of your main responsibilities is to handle the mobilization of funds. You choose whether, as a treasurer, you are in the best position to know whether is it going to be worth it to carry out this particular event with this particular budget, and so on and so. So, I want to try to understand where you guys stand on this. Whether are you guys more of a risk taker, whereby you would decide to allocate more funds on a particular event knowing that you get more returns out of it to cover back the loss? Or are you more of the kind of safe player type where you don't really want to spend so much, you follow the budget, you start, say for example, and when you start it with like £200-300 and then you see where that goes and see. Yeah, so with a risk taker, or are you more of a safe player?
Ning can go first.
I'll look at like previous activities, how does it go, like this year, how does every event go, like how people like each event, maybe Chinese New Year more people come, or like depends on the number of people, then I might take the risk of putting much more funds in some activities that attract more people to come. But I'll definitely work along well with all the members of execs so that we can promote our, like, I'm not just wanting the events to be small, but I wish to promote all our events, like to have more people coming to Duma's events, regardless if we are Duma's members or not. And I'll definitely not support if event will make loss. So.
But you won't really know whether your
Yeah,
event
yeah,
will not be lost. So.
Yeah, so I prefer taking risks and promoting more about Dumas.
I think I'll look at the history cost, you know, like what have we done for the past events and what our revenue and our loss or profit that we made, and we will try to evaluate those past events to decide for upcoming events. So it might be that we can be both, I think both, like be risk taker or maybe safe player. You know, like we have to look at every perspective. Yeah.
Franco?
So like in an event, like so let's say there's a member who decides to come after the due date, like after registration is over. So like you're actually able to like add this member, like you can order one extra set of food. Will you allow this member to come? Because if the member do come, then you're making, let's say, £7 less profit. Like will you like in an event, like if a member decide to come like after the due date, will you allow him to come, even though you can actually technically can come because he can order one extra food? Will you allow him to come? Because like if he come, then you will make less profit because he's a member. He doesn't have to pay to come to an event. Will you allow him to come? It's a situational cost.
I don't understand the question.
I
Sorry.
think what you Franco. So, like in this was just our past. We only introduced this for Chinese New Year. We said even if you're a member, you must register. Because the way membership works currently is you pay your £12 up front and all the events are free.
Okay.
So that means technically if you come or you don't come, you've already paid for it. So I think what Franco is asking is if a member who has already paid, but they only register after the deadline. In that way, if they don't come, then you will get extra money because you don't have to order for them, but you already have their membership money. So Franco is saying, would you make an exception and add on the order for them, or would you keep the extra profit from, they have paid membership but they're not going to get that meal? So maybe at your particular time if you need it.
So maybe we can allow them to come, yeah, and ask payment from them.
No, like because they're members, so they have already paid.
Yeah.
So, Michael, can you
So basically, in short, like the question is asking like, is having more members coming to the event is the main priority, or the profit is your making profit is your main priority? Which one is your main priority?
I think making profit.
Making profit.
Yeah.
What about Qian?
For me, I think because we have to like hand in the form before every event, right, to make sure you are coming. So I think that's the responsibility of our member to do that. So if they didn't register for the event, if they still want to come, after that maybe I will charge them like £3 per the food, because like you have the responsibility to bear the risk, to bear the loss of the society. So that's what I think.
anyone else? Kevin?
Okay, in the event that you make more profit, let's say from subscriptions, because as you all know, we pay yearly now, right? So you clearly have a bit more profit, a bit more revenue to play with for the beginning of the year. Would you choose to keep this as profit, or would it be used to make the events better, make it more enjoyable, maybe invest a bit more in the events, or do you feel it's important to keep it as profit? That's all.
I think because we're not like a profit earning society, right? So I think the most is like our members can enjoy the most of it. So I think we should make our event better, and maybe we can join with, because I have like a lot of Hong Kong's and Thai friends who are taking their position next year. So I think I have the contact, the network, and the link to make the event like better by cooperating with other society. So I think instead of keeping the money and making it profit, I think we should invest them into making a more enjoyable event.
I think she answered my question, because I want to suggest that we, instead of keeping the profit like to ourselves, it's not even moving, so we can liquidate that by investing in other event and making more interesting event, and then earning more profit, and then we can reward the members by you know, some party we can have and some trips and all the fun stuff.
So just following up, in terms of profit, do you not believe that when you have a profit, you should save a portion of that profit as emergency expenditures? Because if you invest everything and you leave yourself with no sort of leeway with funds, and then you become sort of you are insolvent, so to say. And do you not believe that certain funds should be allocated for that purpose?
Yeah, I think it is true that we have to keep certain amount, like maybe 20 or 30% from the profit for some emergency case. Maybe we can cover some losses that we make in other event from the profit that we keep. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. But anyway, it's not like only my decision, it's like the whole exec team's decision. So I'll definitely discuss with them before I make any decisions, like in investing or in keeping it as a profit.
I have a question, which is, at the moment, as I said, we pay upfront and get your food for the rest of the year. Would you keep that model, or would you have, like, maybe you pay £4 membership and then you have to pay for each event, but you get like a cheaper price than non-members? So how would you want to structure our price?
I want to maintain how it does this year. So like actually, like all of us will think this way because we paid. So yeah, we paid for it, then we should go because we have paid for the food. So I think this is one of the way to encourage people to come, instead of thinking like, yeah, I don't want to eat, I have assignment to do, so I don't go. So I think we should maintain the way how we do it.
Yeah, I think we should maintain so that we can sit and discuss with the other adjuts whether we can make it more profitable if we have it other way, you know, like try to change the membership fee and yeah.
Would you guys bring back the lifetime membership?
Lifetime membership.
Yes.
So I think they wouldn't know. Right? 'Cause
Oh, really?
yeah, freshers.
But you told me that the life membership actually make loss, right?
So
So I think
Die.
no, he told me that the lifetime membership actually make loss. So that's why they changed the life.
There's no
And what?
So yeah, those of you who are first years, you won't know the good old days of. Yeah, I paid. What did I pay? 14 pounds for 3 years or something. Yeah. So obviously, as you can see, there's inflation. There's all sorts of things. It's very hard to plan. Or I thought it was very hard to plan. You know, how much are we? Like last the year Kaijen's year of year group, there were much fewer Malaysians, so it's a bit like a pension scheme. You don't have enough. You know, you still have all the old members who are paying, who paid very cheap, but they're still getting the same amount. But then you have the new members come, but there's not enough of them, so it's not very balanced. Yeah, so I think the answer is quite obvious whether you bring. I don't know. Maybe you guys think lifetime membership. No? Okay. So any other questions from anyone on treasure? Okay. In that case, we'll move on to the next position. So thank you very much.